The Legend of the Rift, the fifth book in the Seven Wonders series. I know, it really should have 7 books if it's 7 wonders, but I can't help that, is finally here. In this conclusion to the series, the companions are desperately searching for the remaining loculi and confronting the armies of Artemis in order to rescue Allie, who's been pulled back into Atlantis by the evil king Ula-Ar. This, of course, will make a lot more sense to those of you who have been reading the series all along and been anxiously awaiting the final book. We have 2 copies available for you. Sweet Treats and Secret Crushes is a new book by Lisa Greenwald, the author of the Pink and Green series. Olivia, Kate, and Georgia have been best friends since their families all moved into the same Brooklyn apartment building. But lately, their friendship has been a little bit strained because Kate doesn't really listen to much except for the latest gossip. Georgia can't say out loud what's always on her mind because she's too shy. And both Georgia and Kate are totally ready for Olivia to start taking charge of her life, especially when it comes to the object of her huge crush. They're all still best friends, but for how much longer? So when a blizzard turns Valentine's Day into a snow day, the girls come up with a plan to distribute homemade fortune cookies throughout their apartment building. If their scheme works, it might bring a little bit of romance and happiness to their neighbors, and maybe even remind each other why they're such good friends to begin with. Here comes another great book from Mike Lupica, one of our favorite sports writers. When the Brighton Bears suit up on game day, 12-year-old Tommy Gallagher is the toughest kid on the football field, and he's the most courageous. After all, his dad's a firefighter, one of Boston's bravest. Tommy's dad taught him everything he knows about football and about life. Yet even Tommy isn't strong enough for what happens when the sirens sound one Saturday morning and they're racing away from the fire toward the hospital. When it comes to firefighting, his dad's motto is first man in, last man out. But he never said anything about being carried out. Now Tommy's biggest battle has nothing to do with football. Honestly, guys, I think I might have to include a box of tissues to go with this one. Don't say I didn't warn you. We've got 2 new Warriors Super Editions in the library now. The first one is called Moth Flight's Vision. In it, the 5 warrior clans are newly formed and the forest is at peace. But much remains uncertain, and in Wind Clan, a young cat named Moth Flight struggles to find her place. She's troubled by visions of strange spirit cats that seem to call her toward the high stones in the distance, and by the rest of her clan who still all see her as just a foolish kitten. When her distraction nearly causes a terrible accident, she's driven to go on a journey that will reveal the truth of her dreams and her own destiny. Moth Flight's path is one that no cat could have predicted, and it will determine the fate of all the clans for generations to come. Honestly, I don't know how Aaron Hunter has the time to write bazillions of these Warriors books, but here's the second new super edition I promised. It's called Hawkwing's Journey. Long ago, the cats of Sky Clan were lost to the warrior code, until Firestar, leader of Thunder Clan, helped them rediscover the ways of their ancestors. Since then, Sky Clan has enjoyed a long time of peace and prosperity. Hawkpaw dreams of the day when he will receive his warrior name and be called on to protect his clanmates. Then Echo Song, their healer cat, has an alarming vision, and suddenly Hawkpaw is thrust onto a path he never could have imagined. Sky Clan's era of peace comes to an end, and now they must fight for their very survival. Home Run is another great new book by one of our favorite sports authors, Tim Green. It's the 4th episode in the Baseball Greats series, and it once again features a character named Josh. Josh is forced to work with the toughest coach he's ever met and who has taken over the travel baseball team. Josh dreams of hitting a record number of home runs to win a home run derby that is giving away a house where his family can finally live in comfort and safety. Whether you're a baseball fan or not, I think you'll enjoy both of the storylines in this novel. 11-year-old Jessie Marlowe has grown up with the beautiful Mount St. Helens always in the background. She's hiked its winding trails, dived into its cold lakes, and fished for trout in its streams. Just looking at Mount St. Helens out her window made Jessie feel calm, like it was watching over her somehow. Of course, she knew the mountain was a volcano, but not the active kind, not a volcano that could destroy and kill. When Mount St. Helens explodes with unimaginable fury, Jessie suddenly finds herself in the middle of the deadliest and most destructive volcanic event in U.S. history. Ash and rock are spewing everywhere. Can she escape in time? For 11-year-old Hugo Ballard, flying on the Hindenburg is a dream come true. Hugo and his family are making the thrilling 4,000-mile journey across the Atlantic in a Zeppelin as big as the Titanic. Zeppelins are what blimps were called back in the day, and many of them were huge. But as the Zeppelin gets ready to land, a blast rocks the Hindenburg and fire consumes the airship. The entire disaster lasts a mere 32 seconds, but in those few seconds, Hugo finds himself separated from his family and in a desperate race to escape the flames. The Hindenburg is doomed, and so, it seems, is Hugo. Will he survive this historic disaster? Oh my God, I'm caught up in the vortex. Well, I'll do the best I can. 11-year-old Dexter has always wanted to see a tornado, so when he gets the incredible opportunity to go storm chasing with the famous Dr. Norman Gage, he has to say yes. Dr. Gage is the host of Tornado Mysteries, the TV show that Dex and his older brother Jeremy watched every night until Jeremy joined the Navy SEALs and left home. Dex certainly knows how deadly tornadoes can be, but this one isn't heading toward his town, and wouldn't it be great to have a brave and exciting story of his own to tell Jeremy when he comes home? But when the tornado shifts direction, Dexter's courage is about to get seriously tested. I'm so excited to introduce members of the Breaker Book Bunch to you this week. As you know, I delayed the media moment until today because it has timely book fair info included. What's really cool is that the Breaker Book Bunch has done book fair previews for you. I applaud their courage and enthusiasm and hard work as they created these previews. They've been meeting in the library every morning since September 22nd and are working on more ideas for promoting books here at Getty's. They also did an awesome job of hanging all the book fair posters that you see around the school, and I'm looking forward to many more great things to come from them.
Thrilled that she is spending the summer at her friend Jacob's lake house, Hannah becomes jealous and annoyed when her stepsister, Katie, decides to join them at the last minute. Jealous of Katie's flirtations with Jacob, Hannah connects with some local kids who share scary rumors about the drownings in the lake. After a frightening encounter with something unseen in the water, Hannah and her friends investigate the terrifying history of the lake. Who or what haunts them in the lake, and what does it do?
Surviving the first year of middle school is hard enough, but Sunny Lewin is also sad that her teenage brother Dale has been sent to military school. Teddy, her little brother, can always be counted on to provide a few good laughs, and her beloved grandpa's advice strengthens the love her parents provide. But this thing called middle school is confusing. Luckily, Sunny has a best friend and an all-new neighbor to occupy her thoughts. She's not about to allow the confusion of both school and family life keep her down.
Nobody knows more about fossils than Faith Sunderly's father, but people think he's a fraud and that fossils are fake. 14-year-old Faith believes her father and thinks that enemies want to destroy him because of his light tree, a powerful plant that can solve the world's mysteries and reveal terrible secrets. It's valuable, powerful, and priceless. Almost anyone would kill to own it. When Faith's father mysteriously dies, The plant becomes hers, and she sets out to find the truth about her father's death.
"12-year-old Mia doesn't want to die. She wants to go home. Her father's job involves helping the starving North Koreans, and he wants to show Mia and her brother Simon the country where he spends a lot of time working. But when their father is arrested by North Korean soldiers, Mia and Simon must run. Their dad is the least likely spy in the world, but there is no other option. They must get to China so they can call the American embassy for help. Meanwhile, they are foreigners in a strange land trying to rescue their father. Mia wonders if her name means MIA, missing in action."
"4 months ago, Sarah Zapata's best friend disappeared, abducted by Mexican drug lords. 4 weeks ago, her brother, Emiliano, fell in love with Perla Ruby, a girl whose family is as rich as her name. 4 hours ago, Sarah received a death threat and her first clue to her friend's location. 4 minutes ago, Emiliano was offered a way into Perla Ruby's world, if he betrays his own. In the next 4 days, Sarah and Emiliano will each face impossible choices between life and justice, friends and family, truth and love. But when the criminals come after Sarah, only one path remains for both of the siblings: the way across the desert to the United States. This is a tense and timely international thriller.
Gargantua is a resilient comic villain who terrifies everyone for superhuman powers. Eden is a teenage girl with real-world problems, but when Eden cosplays and wears a mask of Gargantua, it melts away her insecurities and she stands tall against her enemies and her parents. Eden's boyfriend Yuri and her best friend Katsumi are big supporters of her cosplaying ambitions until they point fingers at Eden for something she didn't do. It's thrilling to cosplay as a villain, but being cast as one in real life, that's another story.
A boy from 1930s Nazi Germany, a girl from Castro's Cuba in 1994, and a boy from modern-day Syria are fleeing from certain death in their home countries. They have never met, but their lives are connected. A refugee has 3 lives: a peaceful life before a horrible event, surviving the atrocity itself, and a 3rd life of rebuilding. Living as a refugee means relying on the help of strangers for basically everything. Tents or prisons are not homes. Where will this journey take Joseph, Isabel, and Muhammad? And will they ever find happiness again?
During World War II, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a German pastor and pacifist, shared information with the Allies that Jews were being deported to concentration camps. He risked his own life to protest Hitler's control of German churches. Working with family members and friends, Bonhoeffer organized several attempts to assassinate Hitler, a testament to the many brave citizens who fought Hitler's Nazi regime. A secret plot, a dangerous enemy, and a hero, driven by his beliefs in justice and dignity. Will Dietrich Bonhoeffer succeed, or will he lose his freedom and his life?
In a small town called Creed Cause, family takes care of each other. But when a horrible parasite takes over the town's adults and turns them into zombie-like drones, 2 brothers named Chance and Patrick Raines unite with other kids to protect themselves. As teens turn 18 and become zombies, the Raines brothers must race against time and their cruel reality to save humanity. As Patrick Shrain's 18th birthday gets closer, the brothers fear losing the only thing they have left, each other.
The book fair will begin on Monday, October 30th, and run through Friday, November 3rd. I absolutely have to close the library at 3 p.m. each day of the book fair so that I can turn in the money. So the library will be closed after school during book fair week, and you'll need to do your shopping between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. I've made sure that no books are due during the book fair and for several days afterwards, so that none of you will end up with a late fee unless you work really, really hard at it. Most books are due November 9th or later, so you have no excuse for not getting your book back on time. Don't forget the book drop that's outside the library doors. This is a picture from last year, but I will do a sneak peek video of this year's fair on Friday the 27th and post it on YouTube for all the members of the Library Schoology group and my YouTube subscribers. I'm looking so forward to seeing you at the fair next week and hope that it will be another great success because it helps us buy even more new books for the Media Center. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please thank your teacher for showing the video, and don't forget to make time for reading. Bye-bye.